Hey guys, it's QuickyBaby and welcome back to World of Tanks. This time we've got the pleasure of watching Babouin 29 playing in his AMX 50B. If you're on the European server, you might have noticed that this tank at the moment is top of the tree. And that means you can pick up one of these for a meaty 30% discount. That's pretty much going to save you 2 million credits out of 6 point something million. So if you do have this thing unlocked, then it's definitely worth picking one up. And that's also not taking into account the fact that this tank has received some quite meaty buffs in the last few patches. It now is probably the best heavy tank with regards to mobility and using its gun at mid to long ranges. I'd still say that the T57 Heavy, and with a very similar 120mm autoloader with 4 shells, 400 alpha damage, very similar design on the gun, used to be the best at short, mid and range. And why was that? Because the T57 Heavy, and it still does, have 2 seconds delay between its shells. And it used to have quite negligible aim time. I believe it was 2.5. Now I think the aim time has been nerfed to either 2.9 or 3. While on the other hand, the AMX 50B's aim time has been changed from 3 seconds now to 2.5. And so that makes this machine able to aim faster at its opponents, but not unload quite as quick as a T57 Heavy, and that's because there is a 2.5 second delay between each of the 4 shells that this vehicle can fire. But Babouin has put in 4 great shots there. He really is quick on the draw. And I also like what he's doing there. Even though he's reloading, he was going forwards and trying to look for more shots. What that can often do is deter the enemies from coming round and shooting at you. If you look like you are looking for shots, then for all intents and purposes, they don't know you're reloading. Unless, of course, they've been counting your shots. Now Babouin goes round the corner, puts one into 5120, and then tracks the IS-8 in place, finishing him off with his second shell into the tank. And that's how quickly a tank such as the AMX 50B can pick up 2,600 damage and 1 kill. Gosh, we're 2.5 minutes into the game, and it probably took him a minute to get up onto the hill. The DPM that this machine can put out is phenomenal. So there seem to be a lot of 5120s up on this hill. What are the main differences between the Tier 9 French heavy tank and the Tier 10 French heavy tank? Well, the AMX 50B just has that little bit extra mobility, a little bit better gun performance, but most importantly, the delay between the shots is not 3.333 seconds like in the 5120, it is 2.5 seconds. And just look what Babouin managed to do to that E75. That Tier 9 German heavy tank just didn't stand a chance, came around the corner and pretty much lost the majority of his hit points. And Babouin is quite lucky at the moment. He's managing to kite the other E75, while the AMX 30B on his team, another Tier 10 French heavy, well, medium tank, takes a couple of shots for him. The E75 misses. What a terrible mistake, enabling him to clip pretty much the entirety of another E75. Putting him up to 3 kills and 5,600 damage, and he's still got half his hit points left. He manages to spot the artillery, but precious little he can do about that now. Just rattling the cages on the artillery there. Hopefully he will be able to go back and do something about him later. So the AMX 50B has got absolutely incredible mobility. Oh my word! That FV215B183 is firing armor-piercing rounds and not the Hesh rounds. If that had been a Hesh round, it would have done probably between 500 and 700 damage to Babouin's tank. But luckily it was an AP. It hit the excellent hull armor of this tank. And oh my word, these E75s are not having the best game. Tunnel vision at E75.com, allowing Babouin to get into cover. 1,150 damage blocked by the excellent hull armor there on the 50B. The C75 is literally just letting Babouin go to town on him. But the artillery isn't. As he bombs it round the corner and puts pretty much 1,000 damage there into Babawin. There goes the half of the tank that I guess you were looking after to try and take on these remaining Tier 10 opponents, these German Tier 10 tank destroyers. Taking a hit like that from an artillery and putting you on such low hit points in an autoloader just makes you so uncomfortable. Having that 1,000 hit points means that he could take a shot from an E75, he could take a shot from a Waffenträger Alpha E100. He might even be able to have taken a shot from a Jagdpanzer E100 if he had rolled low. Now it's going to be completely down to his awareness, his ambush, and his skill. He knows the E75 is fired, and that will enable him. Is that his 4th kill? Oh, just denied. I believe he is the E75 Hunter. I think that would have been his 4th kill on an E75. But either way, what we know now is that there is a Tier 10 German tank destroyer autoloader on the enemy team, the Waffenträger Alpha E100. Babawin 29 is left alone with an E75, ironically, or coincidentally, and an artillery. So the E75 is trying to cap. The Waffenträger Alpha E100 is making his way towards him. He wants to eat that very tasty German snack on his team. Can Babawin back him up? He puts one into him. Gotta get out of there. Fair enough, you managed to put one shot into the WT, but that's not a tank that you want to mess around with. Now the artillery has managed to get into a rather nice position. If he's able to get a shot into the side of that Waffenträger turret, that'd be absolutely wonderful. What's going to happen? Oh well, the Waffenträger Alpha 100 picks up his 2nd kill, and the 4th of the game. And now Babawin has got a serious carry on his hands to do here. He's got 1,546 hit points on the Waffenträger Alpha 100 and 1,305 hit points on the Jagdpanzer E100. Now he's using the excellent mobility of the AMX 50B. Change positions. I guess he doesn't want to fight them in the streets. Fair enough, the Waffenträger Alpha E100 has a turret, but the Jagdpanzer E100 doesn't. So if he's able to catch him in the side, or hopefully the rear, then he might be able to take out the Jagdpanzer E100 with a single clip if he penetrates all of his shells, and that's got to be his priority right now. When you're in these endgame situations, you've got to be thinking about a kill order. You've got to know the hit points of your enemy, you've got to know their weaknesses, and know what your tank's potential is. And the AMX 50B's tank potential is 1,600 damage, done in 7.5 seconds from the first shot. 1, 2, what a clutch tracking shot. And 3, he rolled like a boss there. He rolled for 1,305 damage with 3 shells. Wow. Great shots there, Babawin. Great damage. That certainly changes things a little bit. Now, one thing I think that Babawin might be missing out on here, he's done nearly 10,000 damage. It's hard to believe, really. 9,800 damage. He's been playing a cracker of a game here. His marksmanship has been excellent. His thought processes, his target selection, avoiding giving his tank time to reload and do the work for him, has been excellent. But I think that he's missing out on one thing here. A tracking shot on the WT. Another one into the WT. 3. Oh, the 4th misses, leaving him on 737. That's really unfortunate. If he had hit him again, then the WT Alpha E100 would have been a one-shot. But now he's going to have to put 2 into the WT Alpha E100 if he wants to take him down. So Babawin has done 10,600 damage, yet he still has 24 shells remaining in his tank. I think that he should take a clip of high explosive ammunition for these kind of situations against Waffenträger Alpha E100s. If he did take it, he would have 515 damage per shell, giving him over 2,000 per clip. Now he's in a very awkward situation. He's locked down The Waffenträger is starting to cap. How is Babuin going to deal with this situation? He has a poke round the corner. No, he doesn't. He doesn't want to poke round the corner. Looks like he's wanting to get out of this situation. He's going to get a run up. He's going to go for it. Absolute heartbreak. I can totally see what Babuin was doing there. But it looks like 10,662 damage was just not enough to carry this game. So Babuin's final move may look reckless, but I think he was actually giving himself probably the highest chance to be able to win this game. Firstly, he had to shoot the Waffenträger Alfie 100 at least 2 times to be able to take him out. The Waffenträger Alfie 100 has got better aim time, higher penetration, and shorter shot delay. So if he was going to go and poke out round this corner slowly, all I think is going to happen is that the very juicy turret armor of the AMX 50B is going to get penetrated. And even if the Waffenträger misses his first shot and Babuin manages to hit his first, the Waffenträger Alfie 100 will reload and put a second in before Babuin's able to finish him off. And so his idea was, I'll get a run up, I'll take a risk. I'll try and get myself out of being locked down between these 2 alleyways, and then hopefully he can maybe make a flanking move here, or go all the way around and make a flanking move here. Babuin, watching this was an absolute heartbreak for me. This was one of the best games I've ever seen in the AMX 50B, and you showed all of the strengths of this vehicle. I loved how creative you were on top of the hill to get away from your opponents, only stopping to take out entire Tier 9 heavy tanks between your reloads. You used the speed of the AMX 50B to outmaneuver your opponents and outplay them. And through your knowledge of the map and advantageous positions, you were able to get yourself back into the game and give your team a chance to be able to come out of it with the victory. I don't think there's anything that I would have done differently in the AMX 50B this game, except for perhaps taking 1 high explosive clip for duels with lightly armored tanks. And I'm sure this replay gives a lot of hope to people who are trying to grind their way up to go to the top of the tree and get the AMX 50B while it's still on discount. Let's just take a very quick look at the post-game stats. So Babuin picked up the high caliber and the top gun here. 2,425 experience. That's 1,617 base for a defeat. That's absolutely stupendous at tier 10. And 141,000 credits gross, giving him 50k profit for his tier 10 loss. That amount of damage in an AMX 50B, 10,662, haven't seen anything like it. But Babuin really was the slayer of E75s this game, and those are just the perfect kind of tanks for the AMX 50B. It's got enough penetration, accuracy, and aim time to reliably go through even the heaviest of armor, like on the E75. And as previously mentioned, with the buffs to the AMX 50B in recent patches and the nerfs to the T57 Heavy, there's really never been a better time to go and pick up the tier 10 French heavy tank. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this replay. If you did, please consider giving this video a like down below. And if you want to see another game in an AMX 50B that I played fairly recently in some fantastic teamwork with Philippopoulos and Ixor, then simply click through here and you can go through to see how we played it out on Runeberg. And if you're watching this video on Tuesday, the day it comes out, I will not be streaming today because I will have traveled down to my university because I am finally finishing, I'm graduating. Yay, yay, the end of my education. And let me know in the comments down below what you guys think about tier 10 autoloaders. Do you think they give you the capabilities to carry games harder than tanks with single shot guns can? Or maybe you think that they have their weaknesses, and if you play calculated against them and maybe put some pressure on them, make them miss a shot or simply time your attack for when they're reloading, then they're not such a big deal. But as always, thank you so much for watching. You've been epic, and hopefully I'll see you soon.